Welcome back, everyone. Your loyal Captain Given 100 has returned yet again to bring you another What If. And like I said, guys, I'm gonna be focusing on this goddamn on New Order Deku, this series right here, because I haven't finished anything except All for One Deku. So you know what? That's gonna change. And since the new season of My Hero Academia is out and Star and Stripe has recently passed away, RIP to Star and Stripe, the strongest hero, it's time that we complete this this series in her honor. I'm going to be doing it right here. And also, guys, I want you to take a look at this right here. Whoop! We're on 298 subscribers. Almost at 300. We're 2 away from that big 300 special. Come on, guys. I need you all to band together. Because this family is growing, but it's not growing at the rate I know it can grow. We need all of you guys to band together. Grab any friends, family that you know. Tell them about this channel. Let everyone you know in on it. Let them know about this. I promise you all, I'm the next king of YouTube. Will you join our crew and help us? It all depends on you guys. So, let's do this, because I know we can make it. Because we get a lot of views on some of our what ifs, but not many people subscribing. So what are you guys waiting for? Hit that bell notifications and hit that subscribe button. That way you guys are always notified every time I post a video. And it's always free, and you can always change your mind later. But I hope you really don't, because I like my crewmates to stick with us. So, with that being said, New Order Deku Part 2. Let's continue with that. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Cue the intro.
It doesn't matter who's wrong.
So the last time we had left off, everyone, Deku had just unlocked his New Order, but the ultimate version of New Order. New Order basically is a quirk that, well, leaves you with unlimited amounts of potential, and the craziest thing is, it's not completely invincible in Star and Stripe's hands. But my version, the version that I gave our Izuku here, literally does make him a god among mortals. You see, the natural New Order is basically this. Star and Stripe can set 2 rules upon things at once. That's her limit. Only 2 rules at a time. But in order to set a rule onto something different, she needs to deactivate 1 rule in order to set a different one. But 1 rule that she constantly has on, it gives her superhuman abilities. So, strength, speed, agility, durability, everything else on that situation. But there is a limit to what she can do. She can't make herself as strong as All Might, like, a prime All Might. That would just be insane right there. But also, so that gives her like 1 free rule in order to set upon anything. But if she needs to set a different rule, like if you guys have seen the recent anime, I suggest you go watch season 7, episode 1 right now because hashtag spoilers alert of me talking about this stuff. Then you guys know how she had to redirect the time mat bombs in order to hit Shigaraki with them. First, like, it was her grabbing them, and then she had to redirect them. So she had to basically cancel out her superhuman abilities in order to redirect the time mat and to be able to punch it like that. So, with all of that being said, it's pretty neat that what she can do. But that's her limit, only 2 rules at a time. Now my New Order is basically the most godly and broken tier version of it. Izuku's version of New Order is, oh my gosh. So, let me sorry guys, short hiccup right there. So, let me explain to you what it is. So, Izuku's New Order works like this. In case you guys didn't hear it the first episode and you clicked off too early, go watch the first video. I suggest. Also, I'm going to start making playlists on my channel as well. That way you guys can re-roll and go back and watch all the other what ifs I've done. I'm going to have to make so many goddamn playlists. But I know there was a comment back then that wanted me to make playlists because, my videos are getting just discombobulated and out of order. So I'm going to go back and do that after this video is done. The person who made that comment, you know who you are. Shouts out to you. Anyway, So, with that being said, Izuku's new order is massively different. And what do I mean by that? Well, let me explain. Instead of Star and Stripes, 2 rule set at a time, Izuku's rule set is up to 5. But that's only on an outside surface that isn't himself. What do you mean by that? Well, like this. Izuku, like Star and Stripe, can instead of 2 rules, I'm upgrading that number just by 3 more. Izuku has 5 sets of rules that he can set on the outside world at a time. And just like Star and Stripe, he would have to disengage or disable 1 rule in order to set a new one on the outside world. Now, I keep saying outside world, and I'm not emphasizing what do I mean by that. Well, let me go into more detail. Izuku's secondary ability, which is the most broken tier 1 that I've added onto it, Izuku himself, if he were to set a rule upon himself like Star and Stripe constantly does, that is an unlimited set of numbers, an unlimited rule. So, Izuku has no limits to how many rules he can set on himself. There's no limited number, no guaranteed like stopping or a limit at all. The only way Deku can be stopped is literally if Aizawa would just cancel his quirk. But even so, Izuku could find ways to work around that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I made him properly broken. Hold on, let me check one thing, guys. Alright, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just had to check something. Now, like I said, so Izuku setting a rule on the outside world that is not himself. There is a 5 rule limitation. I just upped the number by 3 because I don't think 2 is good enough. So, he has 5 rules to set on the outside world, on any person, and on anything that he would want. But on himself, there is an unlimited number. There is no limits at all to what Izuku can do when he sets a rule upon himself. And that includes giving himself an entirely new quirk if he wanted to. So Izuku can just say, my quirk is now is now explosion. And guess what? Just like Bakugo, he would sweat nitroglycerin and be able to use explosions. Izuku's quirk can work off of very vague commands, but if Izuku went into much more detail about how he wanted to use the quirk, the New Order would have to adapt to that specific way. Now, let me explain. Let's say, I got it. Okay, I got this one. So let's say Izuku wanted to use Bakugo's quirk again. He activates New Order, and he would say, my quirk is now explosions. And then he would go into detail. Upon sweating nitroglycerin, I can ignite the sweat, and I can throw the sweat off of my body in order to ignite it like minefield bombs. And also, the quirk is also the quirk is also evolved, meaning Deku can literally give himself a quirk evolved explosion quirk if he wanted to, like Bakugo in the endgame. So Izuku can be very vague with what he wants in order to get something, or he can go into very huge detail. Yeah, guys. So, as you guys heard all of that, Izuku's quirk is God tier broken. It's just so goddamn good. So it does not matter what you could do against Deku, you're not beating him under any circumstance. Now, immediately once this had happened, okay, we're going to pick up the story now, ever since I explained, because I, used the first 7 to 8 minutes explaining Deku's quirk and everything. So now, hopefully you guys got it. So, like I said, I'm focusing on this series, so clear the next hour or whatever schedule you guys have. It depends on how long I'm going to go. Probably for an hour, because I want to get this story done as quick as possible. So, moving on. Last time we left off, Deku was continuing his training with All Might, but not before telling his girls about it. And in case you guys don't know the ship, I'm going to show you guys once more again. Bam. Alright, so in case you guys didn't remember, it's the 3 girls of Kill la Kill. Ryuko, Mako, and god dang Satsuki Kiryuin. And I don't just mean one, it's all 3 of them. It's, oh my gosh. I don't know what, it would be a throuple, but I don't know what the 4 number is. I'm just saying, polyamorous relationship, I'm going to just say that, because instead of a throuple, it would be a quaddle. I don't even know, guys, I'm just making up words at this point, but it's all 3 of them. And in case you guys don't know what their quirks are, I'm going to just tell you right here. Ryuko and Satsuki's quirk is blood manipulation because in their show, I swear, the Goku uniforms just depend on their blood and whatnot, so all of that. And Mako's quirk, since she's a fighter, is the 8 inner gates from Naruto. So, just had to explain it to you, that one. I recommend you go watch part 1 for me to dive into much more detail on that one, but we're just going to move on from that situation, okay? Okay, now, back to the story. Alright, so, we're continuing on that situation. Deku is woke up that day, and immediately he decided to set a rule on himself automatically, because Deku wanted to research the limits on his quirk. And basically, since Star and Stripe is basically the next world hero after All Might retires, she's very well known, and she's like the #1 hero in the in America. So obviously, Deku would know about it. So Deku researching his quirk and her quirk, he realizes it's oddly similar. Now, Deku, reading upon how Star and Stripe's quirk actually works, because weirdly enough, it actually is out there. You just gotta look for it. Deku really thought to test himself. So, Deku easily gave himself, this right here is just God tier broken, and it's funny. Deku put a rule on himself already, and this first rule was him understanding how his quirk works and every limitation of it. And right off the bat, just like that, Deku already knows, it gets an understanding of his quirk. The 5 number of the outside world limitation, and the unlimited rule upon himself that he can set. But okay, I'm not gonna make it too broken at the time. The new quirks thing is something that Deku's gonna have to unlock on his own. He'll have to figure that out. So, with that being said, Deku, knowing he's gonna have to meet All Might within the next few minutes, he wanted to kind of cheese his way on there, since he's still like a skinny kid. So Deku gave himself a 2 extra set of rules, and these rules are automatically going to be on all the time, unless Deku decides to take them off, or unless Aizawa erases his quirk, which is gonna happen, but he'll just put them back on. So immediately, Izuku would do 2 things. He would make himself, oh my god, very easy to train, the most naturally gifted quirk person in the multiverse. So Izuku's growth rate is just insanely high. He's just naturally gifted at what he does, and he's going to be. And Izuku gave himself a massive amount of potential. So okay, and the second rule is that Izuku has I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Izuku calls this adaptability. Now, this one is much more broken, because Izuku's body would naturally adapt to any. Okay, I got it. It's called muscle memory. Now, what Izuku's body does is that when his body does an action, his body would remember that action, and he would only continue doing that perfect action. But the more refined and more perfect his technique does, his body would continue to actually do that and only get more perfect as time would go on. So so let me explain to you. Even when Deku would be in his 50s or whatnot, he still would not lose any strength or power in any of his punches. It would be like an Omni-Man level of punch all the time if he gets up to that level. So yeah, it's just gonna get crazy. But you want to know how I can make this even more busted? I could basically give Deku Maharaga's level of adaptability and just do stuff like that. But I kind of want Deku to get a challenge here. Otherwise, you guys would just leave the story automatically. But do leave down in the comment section what if you guys want to see some adaptability like that. Then maybe I'll put some down. Then in part 3 I can definitely get you guys something. All right, moving on. So Deku actually would go to visit All Might. Let's cut to something different. So immediately when Deku would go to see All Might would ask, did he figure out what his quirk was? Deku would say yes and explain what it is. And All Might would be reminded, of Star and Stripe. Holy shit. How does Deku have a quirk like that? I mean, Deku would just shrug his shoulders, because he honestly does not know. Little does he know, Izuku is the descendant of someone that All Might knows, of his master, and the descendant of the #1 villain. That's what's crazy about it. This is I don't know if I told you guys the first time, but this is Izuku Shimura. Deku's grandma is Nana Shimura, but also his father is All For One in this one. It's so crazy that all these coincidences just line the fuck up like this, but hey, it works. It very much does work. But if you guys do want an in-depth explanation on how Deku has this quirk, I think I'll give you guys a scientific explanation that might make you happy, might not. I don't know what you guys are going to think. Alright, so here we go. For those science nerds out there that I just want an explanation on how would he have a quirk like this, I think I'm coming up with the backstory now. Okay, All For One has amassed a massive amount of quirks over his hundreds and hundreds of years of being alive and stealing so many quirks. Now, out of all of these quirks, you'd think that at least one of them would be passed down to Izuku. And I know what you guys are going to say, but All For One does not have New Order at all. So there's no way Izuku could have this, let alone an upgraded version of it. Well, you'd be right on that. Except I'm going to tweak All For One's power a little. Well, except here's a catch to it. In All For One's massive amount of quirks that he has, you're right. But due to the massive amount of quirks he has, you never know how many quirks he truly has. But we do know that one of them is a command type quirk, a forced quirk activation type of quirk, and well, okay, a word and a forced quirk activation type of quirk. And also, All For One has the number one thing, multiple quirks. So with all of these factors coming into All For One right here, just like Endeavor, he got a very lucky money shot, and his first child, Izuku Shimura, ended up being the ultimate hero with an ultimate power like this. Now, keep in mind, some of you might say, well, why didn't Izuku get his quirk at the age of 4? Because, well, like, I'm going to say it like this. Quirks, if you guys know of the quirk singularity, quirks are only getting stronger and stronger. And while that's a good thing, the user's body is going to have to adapt to that level of power until the point it's straight up mutation or mutilation of the user's body in order to actually match that type of power. Now, since Izuku had a young body, his young, childlike body was not prepared to handle the stress and the just absolute overload of New Order. Well, of this version of New Order. It's just too much. Now, what New Order actually did in order to protect Izuku, it went into a hibernation type of state. Yes, this quirk is actually automatic as well. Well, on the point of protecting, Izuku. So imagine it like the Omnitrix on Ben 10. Something that just had to something that would protect him and just wouldn't let him die. Or wouldn't let him get killed. This will be Izuku's New Order on his young body. Since Izuku's young and kid body was not ready to handle the power and stress that New Order would actually put and the toll that New Order would take on him, the quirk itself decided to go into hibernation in order to protect Izuku. But as Izuku got older, the quirk was in hibernation for too long that it actually was just going to stay dormant for the rest of his life. Until in a very high-stressed, near-death situation that Izuku put himself in, aka the Sledge Villain, saving Bakugo, the quirk reactivated again so Izuku wouldn't die. So honestly, after being so many years of being asleep, the quirk just shot itself awake again and activated in order to protect Izuku. Automatically giving Izuku the quirk he needed in order to beat the Sludge Villain at that point in time, without Izuku even knowing of his actions of using the quirk. The quirk just basically went out of its own way to keep Izuku safe. And that's what's crazy about it. This quirk is full-on godly, and Izuku doesn't even know it. Now, even though I gave Izuku a complete understanding of his quirk, the one thing he doesn't know is that his quirk is automatic onto the point where it will protect him, because Izuku only knows everything about New Order, because there's no information on his type of new order, just what Star and Stripe has gotten. So that's all the information he has upon somebody else's power that resembles his, not actually his. Because that's all the quirk could actually give him. Now, who am I kidding? Izuku knows how his quirk works. But still. Like I said before, he doesn't know about the extra quirks he can add on to himself, but he's going to save that for later. Alright, so continuing on to that, All Might would immediately grab, Gran Torino. I'm going to say, like, he told Gran Torino immediately instead of, like, very later in the story. So Izuku can basically get his very high agility training right off the bat. And he would actually have full cowling earlier in the story. So that way he knows exactly how to use One For All. So, okay, moving on to that situation. As Deku would meet All Might on Dagobah Beach and Gran Torino, All Might says Deku's training would consist of moving this trash right here for the next year. Because, you know, instead of 10 months, I just give it the extra 2. Because why the fuck not? And meeting Gran Torino here is actually going to be a good thing. And All Might would tell Deku, like, the repercussions of One For All, like an unprepared body would cause catastrophic uses of One For All. His limbs would basically shoot off. But All Might would do something drastic here. He would pluck out a hair and give Izuku the quirk immediately, as he tells him to eat this hair. Yeah, to consume my power, you have to take in my DNA. It's gross, but I had to do the same thing from my master. Okay. So anyway, on that situation here, so Deku getting the power automatically and off the bat. All Might's going to do his muscle training, while Gran Torino is going to teach him exactly how to use the power. But since I already gave Deku like a massive a boost of potential in his quirk, and he's naturally gifted, and adaptability on top of that, oh boy, this is just going to be an utmost crazy type of training. So Izuku here on this situation, I'm going to say in the span of a few weeks, he actually gets this stuff done. You know what? That's too much. I'm going to actually give him 1 entire month. Izuku finished cleaning the whole beach in 1 month. And I don't mean he just put the trash on the other side of the beach. I mean he literally took it to the garbage dump and back. So Izuku actually does have muscle in this one. But if he works out, he can continue to grow and get more. And like I said, his body is naturally adapting to it. So, oh my gosh, this is where it gets even more broken, y'all. So finally, after Izuku's muscle training is done, Gran Torino would say Izuku is ready to use One For All now. Because over the course of the month, Deku did not use One For All and Gran Torino told him not to because of, the strain that One For All could put on him. Because his body isn't really ready for that type of power. But now he thinks it is. So, with that being said, Gran Torino now tells Deku, to use the power. And Deku would not know how to. And, Gran Torino would tell him, just focus the energy throughout your entire body. Okay, now, Deku using One For All. Here we go. Now, let me see if I can find something interesting here. The power would surge throughout Izuku. And immediately, oh my gosh. Guys, this is just absolutely hilarious here. The power would just explode. One For All is basically just shattered its limits. And I mean that in the literal sense of the word, shattered. The 100% limiter completely broke upon Deku using the power here. Deku's power would rise so much that it would actually be insane here. Gran Torino and All Might would actually be blown back. Deku's powering up like a Dragon Ball Z character here. His power is going actually insane. Because as Deku is using the power, the energy is surging around him. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, let me change it real quick. As you guys can see, the veins or whatever would surge around Deku's body. On his forehead, his chest, his arms, through everything. And then Deku's hair would actually spike up like a Super Saiyan. It would actually be crazy. Gran Torino and All Might can't believe what they're seeing here. It looked like, I don't even know, the vestiges inside of One For All. You know what, guys? I'm taking this story so far. I'm just gonna blow your minds with this story. Deku is surging the power so goddamn high. It goes from just 10 to 50 to 100 to 1,000 to 1 million. But Deku isn't done yet. he needs to take this power even higher. He wants to show off. Deku forces the power to go even higher. Like beyond the limiter. Just when you guys think he was done, this is what's flaring off of Deku. A fiery orange, like burning type of aura. But he's taking it even higher. Like, nope, I'm not done yet. Like, what do you mean? Watch me! Deku's body changes even more. Like, oh my gosh. I already told you guys the amount of muscle like Deku had built up. I mean, he looks like Baki, but still, like, he's built even more. Like, All Might and Gran Torino can't believe the power that is surging from Deku. They see, like, the 7 stars appearing behind Deku's back. But he just says, like, Deku sees. The vestiges, like, are even coming out and telling Deku to stop. Because this is, like, too much. But Deku says, nope, because there's a reason he's raising his power so high. Because Deku said he wants to see you all in person instead of just being ghosts. What? As Deku shoots the power even higher. Like, man, Deku is on a whole different level than what anybody else sees. Like, bro. But then the vestiges actually, but then, like, you know, the past users, they start feeling weird. They don't know what's going on. They feel like they're being pulled. Like, now they're coated in the shadows, and now they're being pulled away. Like, chains are wrapping around them, and they're being yanked into different places. Deku just says, one more. Almost done. As one final push, Deku explodes in the power. One for all. Infinite %. As, oh my god. Hold on. I don't even think I could find the level of, like, of power that Deku displayed. It's that insane. Until right as Deku is done, and as the power completely shoots off of him, and as Deku's power hits the absolute maximum, Deku just said, like, oh, I got it now. Split and shatter as now 7 beams of life and light shoot out from Deku's, like, electricity and hit the goddamn ground, and people are literally come from that light. All Might and Gran Torino are wondering what the f is happening, and then they see a familiar face inside of that light. Here we go, guys. Yep, I'm doing it. It has been a while, hasn't it, my friends? Oh, like, Nana, like, no fucking way. Like, Nana, she's back. She's returned. All Might completely broke down seeing Nana, like, come back. He fell to his knees and burst into tears, like, while running in to hug his master again. It's like, bro, it was so heartbreaking for All Might to leave his master behind. He apologized, saying, like, he's sorry he wasn't strong enough. He couldn't save her. He was too weak. But Nana said it wasn't his fault because she chose to make him leave. And Gran Torino, oh my god, seeing his best friend alive again after so many years, it's oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. Nana can't believe that Sorihiko, after so many years, you're still an old man. Like, well, yeah, you shrunk. Well, getting old will do that to you. And Deku just says, I can help with that, as he just points at Gran Torino, and Gran Torino gets bigger and taller again like he was when he was younger. What the? Like, don't worry, I didn't reverse your age or anything. I just returned your body to its prime. So you're still however old you are. Like, All Might's like, wait, you can do that? Like, I can do a lot of things. Pretty much anything. Well, do you think you can help me with this? As All Might shows off the injury. Like, oh yeah. As Deku would just point that and lift up his finger and then, whoop! Yeah. It was like it never freaking existed. But, like, then it's not just Nana. The other users would be confused. What's going on? I think the newbie here let us out. But how is that possible? Don't know. As All Might and Gran Torino now would be on the fence, like, wait, who are these guys? Oh yeah, crazy enough, All Might's like in his 50s, which is crazy. Deku is seeing All Might's kind of withering away too. He also returns All Might returns All Might bodies to his prime. So just doing that a little bit is kind of fun. So now we got a prime All Might back in here. But still, the users will be wondering, hey kid, what'd you do? Like, oh yeah, I kind of raised my power so much that it kind of forced you guys out. Sorry about that. Like, what the? Alright, now you guys are probably wondering what's going on. Deku freed the other One for All users. He let them out. Well, just shoved them out, basically. So now they're actually alive again. Somehow. And that includes everybody. This includes the second user, Kudo. The third user, I forgot their other names. God dang it. Sorry, I'm being put on the spot. The fourth user, Daigoro Banjo, the fifth user. And the sixth user, I literally forgot the third user's name. I'm sorry. Nana, who's obviously the seventh user, because, well, yeah, she's All Might's successor. Yeah, successor. And wait, no, she's All Might's predecessor. My bad. God dang. And the first user, Yoichi. They all got forced out. It's crazy, and they can't believe that they're back. But Yoichi says like he should he's afraid that he's alive now. Like, wait, why is he afraid? Because if he's back, because if they're all back, then Yoichi like yells to everyone to try to activate One for All, and they do. Nana's is purple. Everybody else is whatever fucking color you want them to be. Like, I don't really have the time and the temperament to just make up some colors on the spot for them. Just make it up, and whatever you guys say it, they are, they are. And then Yoichi activates his. And Deku can feel them. Like, why is all of your One for All weaker than mine? And Yoichi would explain that, like, the quirk gets stronger every time it's passed on. And since Deku is the 9th user, of course, he'll be stronger than all of them. But since All Might's back in his prime again, All Might uses his version of One for All. Well, the embers he got left. Until Deku would place his hand on his arm and give All Might a superpower quirk. Basically, Deku gave All Might a power that matches One for All. So there we go. But since the embers are still with it, it basically combined with All Might's superpower quirk. So there you go. Basically, All Might has One for All again, but not really. So All Might using his One for All and stuff here, his is still weaker than Deku's. And that's crazy. And they all can't believe that they're back, that they're alive again, and they can all use One for All, which is even more insane. But wait, do they have their original quirks? And they do. They all do, except for Yoichi, because, well, One for All is just his, honestly. But still, Yoichi is still afraid because since he's returned, that means, oh no. Yoichi would immediately tell Izuku he needs to, if anything, he needs to go back to the Vestige world. And Deku would say he doesn't exactly know how to do that, but Yoichi is terrified because if he's alive again, then that means he holds onto his chest as his heartbeat. He knows. As we now cut to somewhere completely different. As we cut to a very dark place of a man sitting in a chair, as he looks up, or what appears to be a shadow looking up, as he stands up and very weakly walks forward. Master, what are you doing? Master, stop. You can't walk as the man continues to walk forward, and he takes his medical equipment with him as he's walking. What is going on? And as this man, we know as All for One, looks into the air, he can't believe it. As if it was back then, he would be crying, just like he once did before. As he utters a name he never thought he would never say again in hundreds of years. Yoichi. As now we cut back to the scenario before. Look, I don't know how it happened, but you've completely doomed us all, kid. What? That man, All for One, he won't stop. Now that I've returned, he definitely knows by now. I can feel it. Wait, you can feel All for One? It's a very weak psychic link quirk he tied to me, but yes, I know it. Like, he knows exactly. I know exactly what's going on with him. He's too weak in order to do anything right now, but he definitely knows I'm alive. And now he won't stop at nothing to try to get me back. I can't do it again. Not again. As the second user says, well, we're back now, and it doesn't matter. We'll stop him this time. Like, I don't know. We've already died once. Who knows what will happen again? And this time, we're not linked by One for All. We're out to this time. And Nana just says, well, since all of us are here, we can all fight against him. This will be the generation we end this. As Yoichi now looks at Deku, you look just like, God, you really do look just like him. What? My brother. All for one. You're his son. What? No way. How the fuck? Like, all my and Gran Torino are like questioning, wait, what? And Yoichi says he can feel like the presence of his brother coming from Izuku. Not completely overwhelming to the fact that his brother is right above him like a silhouette, but he feels something there. He feels a tie to Izuku. Some part of him is tied to him. And not to mention the fact that Izuku actually does look like Yoichi as well. You know, with the white hair, the green tips on the hair, and the green eyes. You know, he does look like Yoichi. But Yoichi knows he looks like he's the descendant of his brother. Just imagine it like Diavolo and Trish from JoJo. They can just feel the presence from each other. And that's Yoichi. He can feel like the presence of Izuku, but Izuku doesn't really sense anything from Yoichi. Well, he does, but it's very goddamn weak and very faint. Because, well, that was always Yoichi's personality from back in the day. But not just that, he also senses something else within Izuku. But it's something unfamiliar, something he doesn't know. But actually, it's not him. In fact, it's Nana who steps up to the plate and actually says she can sense something from Izuku this time. And she would ask Izuku, like, wait, who, like, what's your name, kid? And Izuku would say, my name is Izuku Shimura. Like, what? Like, and all my, and Gran Torino, even Nana herself would be shocked. Even the other past users. Like, well, not Nana, because she knew she had a family, but, well, she left behind a son. But that was like, it wasn't that long ago. But how? Well, she had a son and a daughter. And she would ask, like, who's your parents? And Deku would say, like, my dad is Hasashi Shimura. Well, his name was Hasashi Midoriya. And Yoichi would say, well, he kept his first name. He kept his actual name, but changed his family name. What? Your father? All for one. His name is Hasashi Shigaraki. It's my name as well, Yoichi Shigaraki. Damn, that's crazy. But Izuku would say that his mom is Inko Shimura. And Nana would actually start to cry because, well, one of her family actually did manage to live on. All for one didn't actually didn't find them. But Yoichi would call Nana an idiot and saying, yes, he did. He knew that Inko was definitely a descendant of her. He found them, but for some reason he just didn't kill Inko. Instead, he had a family, and Nana would just say, I think it was to patronize me a bit more after he killed me. But who knows? At least they're alive. But still, that's an even crazier topic on that. So basically, Deku would ask, what the hell is going on? And it's the story of One for All over again. But Yoichi can actually go into much more detail on exactly what happened back then, because he was there. So we start the story from Yoichi's perspective until we get all the way down to Nana's. And then eventually All Might, that's where his place of the story came in, until it's now Izuku's turn. Now Izuku has to fight this ancient evil here. And thankfully he doesn't have to do it alone, because he's got all 8 of them to back him up. 9 if you count Gran Torino. And this time they're ready to end this nightmare once and for all. And Deku just said, like, he's not sure if he wants to put them back in that situation again. And neither does All Might, honestly. He doesn't want to lose his master again like he did back then. because he feels like he failed her once before by letting her die, and he doesn't want to go through it again. He just can't. But Nana just says, as a hero, well, once as a hero, this is her duty here. She has to at least try one more time. And what if she dies again? Her soul might be lost forever. And Nana just says that's something she's come to terms with already. She died once to that man. Now it's time for a get back. So now, all the users decide that now they have to put all their training into Izuku because, well, here we go here. Now Izuku's going to be getting all of their fighting styles. So, oh my gosh. We get the more unlocked quirks arc every day. But Izuku honestly doesn't really need that. Because, well, he's already strong enough as it is. But as a consolation prize, because of Izuku's awakening, the other users have an awakening of their own. They find out that they can actually use the others' powers. Like Nana finds out she can use Gear Shift and Black Whip, while the second user realizes he can now float and use Smoke Screen, and vice versa. While Yoichi can use all of them as well. But like I said, there's levels to this. Because of how, what user it depends on it depends on how strong the quirk is. So Yoichi is the weakest user, is like the first user, so he's the weakest one for all user. Meaning his version of every other quirk is, the weakest version that it can be. It's not as strong as it was back then. Since Kudo's the second user, his natural quirk is that quirk. So obviously his quirk just stays at his base level. Okay, the users that already have their quirks as their own, it basically stayed as their base level in their prime ages. They just gotta learn how to use the other quirks. And so does All Might, actually. So every single one of them being super powered up. But it gets weaker the farther back you go into the beginning. So Deku, All Might being the strongest that can use all of the quirks, going all the way back to Yoichi, who was the weakest that can use the quirks as well, but they just wouldn't be as effective as they were, as they are nowadays. God damn, have I really been rambling on for this much long? Okay, guys, I'm really running out of time here, and I haven't even gotten that much development on. So, anyway, continuing on with that situation, Deku, now spends the rest of the, 11 months that he has training with the other users and getting to know, their fighting styles, how they fight in a specific way, and getting to know their mindsets and all. And Deku taking notes on all of this, by the way. So Deku is only just going to continue to get stronger. Oh yeah, but one thing, the past one for all users cannot use Deku's new order because one thing for sure, it's the newest edition. So Deku isn't fully registered in the quirk factor of one for all yet. He needs to pass it on in order for, or have it for a long time in order for him to actually be integrated into it. So yeah, sadly no new order for the rest of the users. But hey, I already gave them other shit here. So with that being said, oh my god, I think I've gone a bit overboard, guys. But you know what? Why the not? I'm going too far here. Oh, Jesus Christ. But for the next 11 months, Deku just trains with the past one for all users, getting to know them. And crazy enough, they warm up to Deku. It's not that bad. But now they got to find out where they're going to live at because, well, this has just gone crazy. Oh yeah, also, Nana actually does go to see Inko after all these years, and Inko, did hug her mom because, it's been years, man. It's been 20-something years, bro. Well, 30-something years. Yeah, why not? It's been 30-something years since she's seen her mother. She hasn't seen her since she was a child. She tried to find out where her son was, but Inko really didn't know. They lost contact after graduating high school. And that's been a long time ago because Kotaro just couldn't get over the fact that their mother had to give them up. Inko understood, but Kotaro refused to understand and refused to accept it. And Inko accepted it, and not being mad, Kotaro got upset with Inko that she wasn't mad at their mother for it. Because Kotaro felt abandoned while Inko completely understood because of her nature. So they had a falling out, and Inko doesn't know where he is now. Keep in mind, she tried to call him a few times. She tried to get in contact with him, but every attempt just led to failure and being blocked, and he even changed his entire number. So she has no idea where he is. But oh god, the heartbreak is gonna be insane because over the span of a few months, Inko had tried to look for a brother under the name Shimura, and she did actually find the other Shimura family, but sadly they had died a long time ago. Tenko Shimura, Kotaro Shimura, his wife, and his daughter. Inko didn't even know she had a niece and a nephew, and she was a sister-in-law. Crazy, like her brother never told her anything, and realizing that they had died years ago was insane. Like they found the corpses of the family, but they never found the corpse of I think the youngest, of the youngest Shimura, Tenko Shimura. He has been missing for years, and they just closed the case as a villain attack. So that's upsetting. They already had their grief of Inko, her brother died, Nana, her son died, all of that. So realizing that they were the only ones left, oh, that's even more heartbreaking. But okay, now let's move on. You know what? I'm gonna put some wholesomeness in here for the next few minutes because I'm just gonna do the entrance exam and then the first thing of UA and then just call it a day on that one. So Izuku hanging out with his ladies. Now, they aren't established in a relationship yet, but all three of them actually do like Izuku. So, oh lord, this is just gonna get a whole, this is gonna be a whole can of worms and just absolutely insane. But over the span of a few months, it's going to come out. I'm trying to think right now. Hold on. Okay, I got it. It would be during, since Nana, all the other users pretty much have nowhere else to stay. I mean, obviously Nana's going to stay with Izuku and Inko on that situation. And realizing Izuku has three fucking different women, bruh, Nana looks at Izuku like, you absolute horn dog. Like, hey, or the Rizzler. Like, it's not my fault. But, because Inko knows of Mako, Ryuko, and Satsuki. But Nana doesn't know anything about that. This is going to be funny. Okay, so how would the confession go? It would start as a normal day for all four of them. They're just hanging out in a mall and some such. But Satsuki is the one who confesses first because she feels like that Ryuko likes Mako actually. And while she does, she also likes Izuku, while Mako likes all three of them. Oh my lord. And it's absolutely hilarious. Oh man. Okay, so here we go. So Satsuki is the first one. She asks Ryuko and Mako to head inside because they all head back to to their residence. To Matoi / Kiryu or Ragyo, whatever. They head back to Ryuko and Satsuki's place for the time because Mako's parents allowed her to stay over there for a while for the day. So Satsuki tells Ryuko and Mako to head inside, please, because she wants to speak to Izuku alone. And while they do, they actually eavesdrop on the conversation. Satsuki, okay, hold on, let me do it real quick. Alright, guys, we're finally here. So Satsuki, she's not the type to do any of this type of stuff. She isn't the romantic type, and she tells that to Izuku. I'm not the type to be a romantic. And I don't and I'm always straightforward with people, and I get to the point. So I'm going to say this. Izuku Shimura, I have feelings for you. I like you. And I like you. And Deku is shocked here. Satsuki, I had no idea. But then Mako and Ryuko fall out the window wait, what? I told you to go inside. You weren't supposed to hear that. You like him? Well, yes. I like him. And Ryuko says, but I like Izuku. And Mako says, I like him too. Well, now this is a whole can of worms, bro. God damn it. So now this is gonna get crazy. Izuku doesn't want any drama happening here. So he thinks he's gonna have to calm the situation down. But Mako is the one who says, why don't all of them just date Izuku? What? Yeah, instead of a throuple, it can be a quad. I still don't know how to say the name. A quadpole? Screw it. A polyamorous relationship where they all date Izuku. And Ryuko and Satsuki would say that's kind of weird because they're sisters. well, kind of, but half sisters in a way. Oh God, why am I saying that? You guys know I'm an asshole. I'm a bastard. Okay, I mean, they don't have to do anything, but Satsuki likes Ryuko, but she also likes Izuku and Satsuki. And Ryuko does like Mako, but she also likes Izuku as well, while Satsuki just likes Izuku. So they all like Izuku, and Deku cannot believe the type of shit he's going through. Like, huh? So honestly, they all agree to just date Izuku, as basically they all kiss him. Like, I was not expecting this. And since none of them wanted to be like, they all wanted to be Izuku's first kiss. It was ridiculous. All three of them just jumped on Izuku because he's a big guy, and they just kissed his face. So, oh lord, it's one of those crazy moments where you can't even explain what the fuck is going on. It's a what the moment, and it's embarrassing. So now Izuku has 3 girlfriends. Yeah, just 3. Also, he gets in through recommendation because I don't want to go through the fact of just him surprising people. I want it to actually just end up being a crazy, just genuine surprise, the fact that he gets in a UA like that. Okay, moving on with the situation. I got 10 minutes left, so I better use this 10 minutes wisely. Okay, so a few dates later, Izuku finally got the hang of this quadruple fucking, dating system, like relationship that they're in. Only Izuku and Satsuki finds it kind of complicated at first, while Ryuko and Mako are just vibing with it. They're just okay with this. Like, bruh, how in the oh my gosh, Izuku's kids is just gonna be absolutely just insane. If you guys actually do want to know, I'm doing the Loud House situation. Izuku has fucking 15 kids, 5 with each goddamn girl. Yep. Or I could just do 9, 3 with each girl. I don't know, guys. Hey, should Izuku end up having kids with them in the school? You know what? Hey guys, I'm gonna give you guys an option. Tell me if Izuku should have because they're old enough. They're 19, and some people do that. Give Izuku a goddamn child with a girl, even though they're in the UA class. So put that down in the comment section below. Do you guys want to see that? And if so, give me some goddamn names, because I am so willing to put that up there, like in any goddamn part that you guys want that to happen. And you guys get a shout out and a pinned comment if I like the name, and if you guys do agree on that option. So, any options like that? If you guys want Izuku to have a child with one of them or all 3, give me a goddamn name. And you guys will get pinned down below. Please and thank you. Okay, so moving on. Izuku getting in through recommendation and all is just, an obvious type of thing. Okay, so on that situation where they all get in, since these 3 have to replace, Izuku's naturally in UA, so he doesn't get replace anybody. But Ryuko, Mako, and Satsuki have to replace a few people. And I have to get rid of Mineta, obviously. I don't find any value in him. And sadly, Sero has to go too. Even though I like Sero as a character, I'm sorry, but he doesn't contribute much to the team besides just tape. Honestly, just tape. And last but not least, I'm going to be getting rid of Koda, because of course his quirk is useful. He can talk to animals and whatnot, but that's just it. Everybody else is complete powerhouses and good stuff like that. So I find him very useful to actually stay in. So yeah, Mako replaces Mineta, because obviously. And Satsuki replaces Sero, while Ryuko replaces Koda. So there you guys go. We all got it matched up now. Dang, I got like 7 minutes left. Okay, might as well do this. So as they all make it into it, Izuku just talks to all 3 of them, and everybody finds it kind of weird that, oh, you guys want to know something very goddamn funny too? Izuku sits actually in the front of the class in the middle, and he's surrounded by Ryuko, Mako, and Satsuki. Okay, so Satsuki is actually on Izuku's right. Ryuko is on the left. And since Mako wants to actually talk to Ryuko more, she's actually in the seat directly behind Izuku to actually be able to talk to all 3 of them whenever she wants. So, and since the seating chart is actually very close together, she can actually talk to them a lot easier. So that seating chart actually works very well for them. But still, all right, time to move. So they meet Aizawa. Aizawa told them to put on their gym uniforms, and obviously Izuku's body is built because he's a 7'4" looking like Baki. And in case you guys forgot, he looks like this. Boom. Like I said, yeah, he built like Baki, a 7'4" looking like that. This man is absolutely broken. And yes, he does have the scars too from how hard he pushed his body from when he was a kid, continuously straining himself to train harder and harder. But hey, it all works out for him because he still looks awesome as hell. Alright, now continuing on that situation. So, oh my gosh, everyone sees how built Deku is. Even the girls look into that tiny little hole. Well, okay, they don't know, but Mina is the one who finds it and looks through. And when they see how built Deku is, damn! Holy shit, bro, what the hell? Oh. Oh, Lord. And Mako, Ryuko, and Satsuki are all blushing at that fact. But their relationship won't actually be revealed until until the USJ, which is going to be saved for, you know what? Until after the sports festival, which is actually going to be saved for for part 3, because the last 5 minutes of this is going to be me using it for you know what. So anyway, as they all come out. They gotta get Deku an XXL uniform because he's huge. 2, he's built way too heavily. But the craziest thing is he's still super agile and powerful. A guy like this shouldn't be as agile and nimble as Deku normally is. Because like I said, he trains like Baki too. So he trains all aspects of himself. He knows he's nimble and agile. So oh my gosh, he's way too good. All right, moving on. So anyway, on that situation beforehand, Aizawa is going to put them through a series of quirk training tests. Whoever's in last place will be expelled. And I don't see anyone other than Hagakure who's in last place, because essentially she's just a normal human who's just invisible. So yeah, they all go through the test like normal. Deku obviously ends up in first. So oh Lord. Now, I don't see Aizawa, in the value of Aizawa erasing his quirk, because he doesn't really need to judge Deku based off of anything. But still, because he doesn't do that to Todoroki or Momo, even though they got in through recommendation. So I'm just going to skip that part. And now I'm just going to move on to the hero costumes of the bomb training test. Well, actually, I'm going to skip that, since Ryuko, Satsuki, Mako, and Deku are so far ahead of everybody. They actually take out the bomb training test in exchange for just a whole training day with the faculty on your weaknesses and on your strengths and on everything else. But still, onto the okay, if you got onto the hero costumes. So I'm gonna show you guys Deku's hero costume right now. Oops, hold on. Bam, here we are. To pay homage to his grandmother, Izuku got a suit that matched exactly Nanashimura's, except he made his own tweaks to it. Of course, Deku's has actual sleeves, and Nana, who doesn't have sleeves. And he has 2 capes instead of just 1. Not Deku has a cape on his waistband, and one actually on his back, while Nana actually doesn't. And he's got the color changed as well. So with that being said, yeah, Izuku's thing is actually black and golden, because literally the golden child and also black and gold go very goddamn well together as colors. So yeah, Izuku's gonna keep this color palette right here. So this actually matches just fine. So as for Mako, there's not really much for me to change. Yeah, Mako Mankanshoku, there ain't really much for me to change on her, but because she's still like a goddamn street fighter at the end of it. So there ain't much for me to change at all. She still has a regular uniform and all that. But in case you guys want to see her with her standing up, and yeah, those weapons, she actually has them in the anime. So I'm gonna keep that going. But still. But yeah, see, this is her hero costume. And keep in mind, guys, she's not serious. This is just her in her base form. Because remember the quirk I gave her, the 8 inner gates. So she still has a lot left to go. Oh my gosh, man. I think I made this just too broken, but you know what? I don't care. As for Ryuko and Satsuki, okay, you guys know what I'm about to show. They look like this in the actual anime, so it's not bad, and I'm not gonna 18 plus this. I shouldn't have to. YouTube, I'm talking to you specifically. I shouldn't have to because this is what they look like in their own goddamn show. So if this gets taken down, I'm gonna be so pissed off. Okay, so here we go. YouTube, I swear to God, they look like this in their actual show whenever they use their powers. Look up Kill a Kill. I am not age restricting this goddamn video because this is not bad at all. Okay, so I'm gonna hurry up and explain this guy, their quirks. Because, okay, this is what they look like when they use their powers. Blood manipulation into their Goku uniforms that allows them to use, well, life fibers, in a sense, in order to use the stuff that they do in their own show. So, guys, I'm not gonna show this for that long, because you know YouTube's strict guidelines. They'll find any material as bad. So, I'm actually taking it off right now. Alright, now back to this. Sorry guys, I couldn't keep showing that because YouTube definitely would have taken me down or deleted this goddamn video or made me age restrict it. But I shouldn't have to because that's what they actually look like in their own show. Alright guys, you guys saw their hero costumes and everything else, so you know what? I think I'm going to end it off on this note right here. I really appreciate this, you guys. We're 2 subs away from 300 subscribers and more. Come on, guys. This family can continue to grow. I know it can. And I'm going to be focusing on this series solely to get this out. So I hope you guys really did enjoy this. And keep in mind, comment down below, should I actually make Deku have a kid with one of them or just all 3? And if so, give me some goddamn names. And that way you guys can get pinned and shout out in the next video that we've got. Well, whenever it does get to that point. So, with that being said, y'all already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Peace!
She likes it when I hit, when I tap. Wait, what? Ay, shawty's the same, not without me, she ain't function. Running out the game, I don't got no time for love. Gotta stick to your lane, I don't wanna hear you bugging.